It's really wonderful to be here with all of you and to listen to each other's stories. I'm really so inspired because I think a lot of us can relate to the stories that are being shared here today. For me, this is a story that happened or that started 10 years ago and only recently concluded with its final chapter, which is why I decided to sign up for this session to share with all of you. Long, long ago, in 2016, just 3 weeks before my 52nd birthday, and also just before the Christmas season, my then husband announced to me that he wanted a divorce. On top of this shock, I was just adjusting to stopping work. I barely resigned 2 months before that because I had to take care of my mother. She was turning 80. She was suffering from poor mental health because of a theft. There was a snatch thief incident in Kuala Lumpur. Somebody stole her handbag and she couldn't recover. So she was stuck at home all the time. So I decided, okay, I better take care of her. So when this happened, all this battery of shocks, I just became very stunned and I was just lying down at home sleeping. I slept so much, unbelievable. I think my brain just refused to function. Too many things to think about. Anyway, to cut that story short, after 3 years of fighting in courts and going through this divorce proceeding, so if anybody has to go through this, feel free to contact me because I can share with you ways and means that you can save costs. Because my ex-husband was a really terrible man. Anyway, so I was so exhausted by the time it was all over. And I still hadn't taken care of my mother yet because I was going through all the legal proceedings. And I had a daughter at that time in university whom I wanted to take care of and protect. I didn't want her to feel worried that her parents were divorcing. Thankfully, she graduated, and I'll continue her story later. But after the divorce was over, I decided, okay, I will rebuild my life now. But to be honest, it was very difficult. Yeah, I started clearing the house. I started, thinking what I should do to get fit again because I was getting so old. Really, tragedies can make us look very, very old and haggard. So, and also thankfully my mother was still alive. So she came first in my plan. And I looked at, okay, what can I do for her now? Thankfully, she was still able to walk, but with assistance. Yeah, now she's in a wheelchair because she's already 82. However, it was then I decided that, why don't I help her celebrate her 80th birthday and bring my brother and sister together and with the grandchildren. So we had a fabulous celebration in Malacca. After that, I came back to Singapore. Okay, I said, this seems to be a good turning point. I think things will start to look up so I can plan for a brighter future. But alamak, I was driving home one day and suddenly I blanked out and I was in a road accident. Yeah. When I could hear someone calling me, ma'am, I opened up my eyes and it was this guy, he was dressed up like a fireman. And he said, ma'am, can you move forward? I said, I think so. And then he said, ma'am, move forward. I moved forward and he put something around my neck. It was one of those braces because I think he suspected that I had a broken neck. And I realized that I wasn't conscious throughout because the next time when I was more conscious of myself, I was in hospital. Yeah, and the nurses was asking me, who can we contact? Who's your nearest of kin, and etc., etc. So I said, call my daughter, please. Yeah. And at that time, I felt that, oh no, is my world coming to an end? My daughter is not married yet. I haven't become a grandmother yet, which was one of my ambitions. thankfully, I only had a broken neck, which could be repaired. So I got 2 titanium slits. I'm not paralyzed because that could have been one of the effects. My daughter today is married, and I'm waiting to become a grandmother before the end of this year. So that's what I can do. Thank you. And my mother. So thankfully I got through the surgery, and I said, okay, so now this is the time that I will start planning to bring my mother from Malaysia to Singapore, or I'll go and stay with her in Malaysia. Then COVID happened. So because of the pandemic, I couldn't go across to Malaysia. And I could only do WhatsApp video call with my mom. So thankfully that was also possible. I love technology because of this. And my mother, thankfully, she was also, although she was living alone, she was still able to, at least she looked at me, she see my face, I see her face, we were also quite shocked. And by the time I brought her to Singapore, which was 1 year after the COVID, I realized at that time that every one of us will have second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, even 10 chances, right? We just don't give up on ourselves. And what happened after that was, I can share with you that my mother now is living with me, and I realized all this was possible because I had the courage. So being courageous is an important trait. Don't ever lose that. Whatever methodology or procedure, have courage, that's important. The second thing, now I'm already in my 60s, the second trait I want to share is curiosity. Be curious. Continual learning. So what our government said is not wrong. Continual learning is important because it helps us feel young. It helps to keep us fresh. And after that, why I mentioned cats is because, well, I don't have a husband, right? But at least I got cats. I talk to my cats every day. And my 2 cats sleep with me every night also. So thank you very, very much.